Yeah.
They held off on that reveal for a really long time, though, which I appreciate.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, the pacing of that game, right?
It's very good.
The pacing is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. I'm sad that you don't really get to go to the digital world at all. I was really hoping that there would be a segment where you go through and do at least a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what we do later on, to be fair, you know?
Yeah, I'm in chapter 19 now.
Okay.
I've got a couple remaining cases, and then I'm gonna go fight Leopardmon.
So, after you do that, or wait, is it after that? I don't remember, but there's some more cases that do unlock side cases.
Okay, like in the post game.
I'm not even in the post game. I haven't done the final thing yet. There's just more stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's sick.
Who did you end up with? What are some of your big Digimon that you have?
So I'm still like going through and digivolving a bunch, but my main trio has been let me also do this. Has been what the fuck is it called? It's been a sec. So fuck.
You could just open the game.
Yeah, I could just open the game. No, Tiger Vespamon, I believe.
Okay, nice.
I really like the fucking what's it? Kamen Rider kind of aesthetic that he's got going on. It's fucking awesome. And then there is Shine Greymon BM.
Okay.
So yeah, he's that. Yeah, he's there. And
I have a Shine Greymon. I didn't have Digivolve him.
Yeah, it's just the higher form, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then fuck, it's something Gaugamon.
The dog, BM. Blue Dogman.
Yeah, big Blue Dogman. The other Blue Dogman. He's
got like fucking jetpacks.
Yeah, dude. Well, he's got like this big fucking like ball and chain, but like it's the moon. You know, like
no,
it's like it's not like a ball, but it's kind of like that. I don't know what the weapon's called, but he swings that shit around and then brands him with it. It's fucking sick, dude. Yeah, and I'm currently trying to digivolve whatever Black War Greymon and Black Were Garurumon, Metal Garurumon, excuse me. Can digivolve into DNA Digivolve or whatever the fuck, and then
that'd be like Omnimon Black.
I think so, something like that. And then because I know War Greymon and Metal Garurumon do that basically to become Omnimon, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get them. It's just grinding the levels and stuff. It's not too bad. It's just taking some time, you know.
You have Platinum Numemons, right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, good. They're the like hideous fucking open mouth.
Oh yeah, I got them at one point. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Because those ones have the highest XP bonus when you have them take place in a fight.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, like I was fighting in Odaiba, the place that's on fire because of Examon.
Yeah, that's exactly where I grind.
Yeah, with 2 Platinum Numemons, both with a Tactician USB, I was getting up to like 30,000 XP per fight.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I stumbled onto Examon because I had Break Dramon and Slayer Dramon, so I just happened to get him. I didn't even know he was a royal knight.
Yeah.
I got Titamon from the egg dude.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Digitamon, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I got Kirpymon Good.
Okay.
Big fucking weird T-posing rabbit angel.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
Yeah, man.
I have Imperial Dramon Paladin mode.
Yep.
I've got Sistermon Blanc Awake, which is fucking sweet.
Sistermon Blanc Awake.
Yeah.
Awake.
You have to get Sistermon Blanc up to like 80 ABI or something, and then you have to level her up to like 77 or some shit
Oh, okay.
for her
That's
stats
actually
to get
not
to
that
that
bad.
point. Yes, it was rough in the early game.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I've got Plesiomon,
Yep.
Tyrant Kabuteramon.
Yeah.
I just got Omni Shoutmon, who is
Oh,
super cool.
okay.
And then I've got Chaosmon, who is
Yeah,
absolutely fucking monstrous.
yeah.
I've got Mastamon, which I also got before fucking Mireille opened the other dimension, which was hilarious. It's like I could have done this shit myself.
Yeah. There's a couple of times where it's just like, oh yeah, well,
Oh yeah. I have Ophanamon and then Durandamon.
Ophanamon. Let's see. Oh, okay, yeah,
OPH.
Ophanamon. Yep. And then
And then Durandamon, because fucking Zudamon was hilarious, where he was like, I'm the 20th. And I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta see where this shit goes.
yeah. Oh, I haven't seen this guy. Durandamon. Okay, cool. Man.
You go from Zubamon, Zuba Eagermon to Durandamon.
Okay,
Yeah, he's pretty easy.
hell yeah. But yeah, man.
But yeah, this game was fucking sweet.
Yeah, I can't
And
wait to play the next one, honestly.
I saw a screenshot, or like, no, it was a video thumbnail where a guy was talking about it. The fucking Digimon models in that game look fucking amazing.
I can't wait, dude. I really
They
can't
look
wait.
really good.
I need to also play Survive, like, because it's just more of, like, looking really good stuff. So, I don't know.
But yeah, dude, fucking, like, Chaosmon, my Chaosmon has 443 attack base.
Shoot. Wow.
He's insane.
That is great.
Yeah. And I got the one where it is Boncho Leomon, who is fucking awesome, by the way.
Boncho Leomon is sick.
And
Very JoJo.
Dark Dramon. Yes, he is very JoJo, actually.
So JoJo. Like,
I got more Yakuza from him, but yeah, it is absolutely
Yakuza as well, dude. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see. What were the other ones that I really liked? Let's see. Oh man, I loved Chumon, the little fucking weird, crazy rat-looking guy.
Yes, Chumon. Jesus, that little fucking gremlin.
He looks amazing.
Yeah.
I loved Tankmon. I wish he
Tankmon
went
sick.
turned into like Super Tankmon or something.
Yeah.
For more guns.
He goes into what's his face there, the bulldozer or digger kind of guy, you know?
Yes, he can become Breakdramon.
Breakdramon, yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, this fucking guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man.
So
I really liked
crazy.
Cressamon, that weird rabbit with like the moon shield and blade.
Cressamon, let me see. Oh, yeah.
162.
Cressamon is cool.
Let's see. Who else was like super cool? I really like a lot of the Greymons and like the metal Mons, but
great.
I didn't actually wind up using any of them.
That's fair. That's fair.
Actually, no, I did use a Rise Greymon.
Oh yeah, Rise Greymon's cool. Yeah.
Ah, yes, because I needed to get him to do Slayer Dramon.
Yeah, Rise Greymon. I had not even seen Rise Greymon before this game. I don't know where he appeared in like the anime and all that, because I was an avid Digimon anime watcher when I was a child.
You fucking nerd.
Oh yeah, dude. But hey, man, when they're going around and they're just kids, but they're like dealing with like death and shit, it was great, man. Like,
yeah, man.
Like, it's so actually like mature. And I'm like,
I dug the shit out of the fact that they actually addressed the whole thing where people are getting like comatose in the thing, and they might specifically be used to get their body for like organ transplants and shit. That's fucked, and I love it.
There's a lot of like I have said, Digimon grew up with its audience, like from the beginning. Like they understood that like they don't need to cater to children, you know? You can make stuff that is for children, but like still has the themes and such, and it's not been shit.
Yes.
The only one that I found was weird, at least for like the anime and stuff, was like when the people just became Digimon, and that was weird.
Yeah, that's a tiny bit weird.
That's a tiny bit weird. You can get them
But I mean,
in the game, I think.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's weird, but sure, you know?
Yeah. And I think the ones that are the weirdest for me are the ones where they're just people, basically.
Yeah, it's a little strange, but
like Sistermon.
Yeah.
That's just a girl.
It's just a
human
lady.
girl with a hat.
Yeah. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, no, she was I had Sistermon Blanc for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is this other form? How do you get it? And
Right.
I'm like, yo. I didn't use CL, though. I think I digivolved into her once and didn't do anything with it.
Well.
And I'll tell you what, man. Fucking Sistermon Blanc Awake is amazing because of Protect Wave Awake.
Oh, yeah.
It prevents all statuses for 5 turns.
Ooh.
And it prevents all damage on... it prevents all damage for 1 instance of damage until the next turn.
See, that would be really good.
Yeah, it costs 99 SP.
Yeah.
But it's really nice to start that and start a fight out with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really nice with the current like stuff that I was dealing with. Because some of the side cases at that point are... I have been spending so many items. I'm not saving them for the main story fight because I think that'll be like nothing in comparison to some of these.
Yeah, I did kind of like 3-shot fucking Crusadermon.
Yeah, dude, you trounce them after a while if you're like doing other stuff and leveling up and shit and digivolving, right? But like, yeah, it's you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in doing the other stuff too, so you know, it all works. I like the story overall, you know, the fight itself doesn't need to be that challenging at that point.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, that's Digimon talk.
Yeah. It's really good and
I
like it.
Yeah, dude. I need to go back, and there was, I think I've talked about this before. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast at all, but there was one that I do want to there's one of the animes that I do want to watch is like, it's like more futuristic, and like Digimon are just like coming through to the real world, and like the protagonist is like this delinquent kid who he like meets up with an Agumon because of course it's an Agumon.
Of course it's an Agumon.
I mean, you know, Agumon's cool.
Yeah, it's the Pikachu of Digimon. I don't mind.
Yeah, but he's not like Pikachu though, you know? Like he's actually got some range depending on the story.
He actually has a personality.
Yep.
And he talks, and I love that about Digimon.
Sick. Yep, exactly.
It's so much better.
I know, I agree. Thank you. You've drank the Kool-Aid, and I appreciate you for it.
Yes.
But so it's this delinquent kid, and the way that he like can help, or he can digivolve Agumon when they're doing stuff, is he has to punch the other Digimon and he gets like the code on his hand and puts it into the thing.
That's hilarious.
Into the Digivice, and it digivolves. Like, it's so fucking stupid, but
so wait
man,
a minute. Okay,
I love it.
So if he's got an Agumon, does that mean he needs to punch a Greymon?
No, he just punches whatever the fuck they have to fight. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Like, they just structure it in a way that he has to go and punch that shit, because it's the only way that he can get Agumon to digivolve.
Dude, okay, so you know the other thing that I super dug about this one, and I'm really looking forward to more of it in Time Stranger whenever I get around to it. I really dug the fact that there were some actual set piece boss fights that were like really cool. Like you're fighting fucking Examon, and he's like the size of a skyscraper, and you're on the building.
Yeah, it's great.
And I love when you were like flying around chasing Kentarosmon.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
It's very good, again, with pacing, with set pieces, with just the story in general. Like, it's just good game. Just a good game.
It's just a good game. The only downside I had was like, God damn it, please give me more party memory.
I'm at like
You
almost
can't
300, so like I never had an issue. So I don't know.
well, I have a lot of 25s and 20s.
Yeah,
So
I mean, fair. I think I'll be there when I've digivolved everything. I think I was taking my time and like just kind of settling on my main 3 and then just digivolving here and there, you know?
So wait, you only use 3?
Not anymore. I do switch them out here and
Okay.
there, but my main
Yeah.
3 have been the ones that I used like the entire time.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I had been kind of swipping and swapping around
Yeah.
just based on the ones that I could digivolve and the ones that I did need, the ones
That's
I were
fair.
finding and I found were cool.
Yeah. That is
And
fair.
so I'm at somewhere like 13 or 14
Okay.
that I
Yeah.
like to use, and I kind of swap them around.
Makes sense.
That's fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Although
Anyway,
the training is weird, isn't it?
not really. I get it. It's
Well,
just
I mean, they don't really explain it very well because it's like if you have people in a farm,
Mhm.
only the leader's personality has to match the others in order for the ones beneath it to get any stats.
That's not true.
That's what I read, and that's what I tried that, and that's what worked.
So I have had them all have different personalities, but they get the gains. It's the main leader who has the specific one, yes. And then if you put in the farm goods to make it so that it's easier, they get more.
Yes.
It might be that they get less than if they had the same thing, but they get enough.
Okay.
It's not really that bad.
But I think the weirdest thing for me was that the training stats that you gain don't apply for the purposes of Digivolution. I thought that was really weird.
What do you mean?
So, like, let's say you have a Digimon that's got like 100 attack, like a base of 100 attack.
Yeah.
And then if you need 120 to Digivolve.
Yeah.
If you gain 20, if you have those extra 20 points from training, it does not count toward the Digivolution. You have to get 120 base.
Yeah, it just makes it so that you're
weird.
more likely to get more when you level up.
More likely to get more what?
Of that point. Like, of that stat.
I mean, yeah, but it would have been nice to have, like, say you don't want to train a Digimon to level 85 or 83 or something to reach like one stat total that just is kind of low. It'd be really nice to put them in the farm, train up, and then make up the difference. That'd be super nice.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of here and there. It just, I mean, you level up in the farm too, so like,
Yeah.
It's whatever, I feel.
But yeah, now I'll stop.
No, you're
Sorry.
good. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to TableTalk Discussion and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great95.
And I'm the third host, and I drank the Digimon Kool-Aid, as he said.
That's absolutely true. I hope you enjoyed.
It was fucking delicious.
It is, dude.
And I'm not done with it yet.
No.
I don't think I'm going to do Hacker's Memory, though. I've already put like 80 hours into this game.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think I'm
to
good.
just because, but like, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I got other things I want to play.
I feel like Hacker's Memory is probably going to be shorter anyway.
Yeah, most likely.
But either way. Anyway. Hello, Chara. But yeah, so Aiden will probably join us tonight. I don't know. He might have fallen asleep. Who knows? But
Yep.
we're gonna be talking about Vampire. Hey, I found a Vampire video.
Vampire?
Yeah.
I never even met her.
Well, you're about to. Anyway, so I found a video called Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh God.
Missing Magic of 5th edition.
Oh, okay. I thought I read that read into that wrong.
Yeah.
I thought he meant like there's magic stuff in D&D 5e that needs to be in Vampire. I thought that's what it was.
So people complain about 5th edition of it seems like it's a popular thing to complain about. But like for Vampire specifically, it seems like there are some things that people are regretting are gone. And from what I have gathered, at least from outside opinion and slight research, has been that it's not as mechanically dense as the I want to say the anniversary edition that was before this that White Wolf did at the end of their time with the IP. Which fair enough, but I don't believe that this game is any worse for it. I don't know if you've noticed since we've been playing it and putting out episodes and stuff about it and enjoying our time very much so with the game. That I think that this game is quite good the way that it is, and I don't believe that we need it to be as I guess for lack of a better term, crunchy as it used to be. Because it's plenty enough, I think, right now. The peanut brittle is, in there. But but I don't think we need the power trip, I guess, of having a bunch of different stuff of like powers and stuff. And I understand that used to be what it was. You had a lot of different things that were in different disciplines and all of that. And they've kind of combined a bunch of things, and you've lost a lot of that stuff in disciplines. But that's not to say that I don't see it as a problem if you prefer that, right? That's obvious. If you don't prefer this game, that's fine. But I don't think it's bad because of it being so different, right? Now, I don't know what the tone of this video is going to be. Seems like it's going to be lamenting the loss of things. So we will see. It would be nice to know what we have lost, at least, in a more detailed thing. And considering this is 46 minutes, almost 47, that I hope we'll get a very detailed explanation of a lot of things. So, open the eyes a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, this is brought to us by Voivode Maquette. Voivode Maquette. Voivode Maquette, maybe even. I think that's an I. Anyway, link in the description, of course. Anyway, here we go.
Greetings, kindred. I am Voivode Maquette. This is my companion Dullahan, and welcome to our world of darkness. And it's Metaplot Monday, and have I got a topic for you today? I've foregone drinking my typical red today, and decided to go for some green tea because I just felt like breaking out the crystal and drinking something warm. So, today I have a very interesting topic because it's not going to be a lore sheet, which I understand we don't cover lore sheets every time, but they are the backbone of what Metaplot Monday is, seeing exactly where these lore sheets and their topics fit into the metaplot and how you can actually tie your character into the overarching style the game is going for using those sheets. But today I kind of want to talk about something that's been removed from Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition that seems to have caused more than just myself to wonder why.
Sure.
Now, this has been provoked primarily by the community member Riley Bitely, who wrote me, "If you ever do a blood sorcery or other appropriate discipline breakdown, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how Khaldoonism could be brought into V5, specifically fire, water, earth, and air paths. I always felt like it's more spirit magic and tied to their ownership of the land than blood magic, so I feel like giving or having a Samitsi learn blood sorcery and then homebrewing rituals just doesn't fit, or just doesn't quite fit, as the blood-based main powers don't quite feel right to me. But for the life of me, I can't really think of any other amalgams besides Protean 5 plus Animalism 1, which is basically Path of Spirit. I think Auspex would be a fitting component of Khaldoonism, though. And I can't disagree. I can't disagree at all. Since I saw...
Whoa, he faded in. That was crazy. I I do want to look very quickly though, because he talked about lore sheets, and I will say, and I don't know, I don't think this was a criticism of V5, but
Mm.
lore sheets are in your core rulebook. They start at, I want to say, 382 here, yeah, and then they go on for a little bit just to see um a lot of these specific lore bits that can help with like you said, tying your character into the quote unquote meta plot, which I would love a definition on that. I guess I can understand what he means, but I would love to just know the definition that he's going for here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you can have specific characters here. You can have clans. In fact, I see a high clan and a low clan here on 400 and 401 that are specifically, like, let's see, for like the low clan, you come from one of the clans historically identified as low, though in your domain it's less past than present night fact.
Mm.
You labor under the weight of a heavy curse, heavier, you might argue, than those of the high clan vampires. Geographical region determines which clans the eldest vampires still consider low, but uniformly, the Gangrel, Malkavian, and Nosferatu fill that bracket, with Bruja and Tremere also occupying that position in various domains, which makes sense. Your status as a low clan kindred marks you as lesser than your peers, but you are still a prominent source of rebellion and counterculture. You have access to the bottom rungs of society and all the benefits and drawbacks that come with that, which give you a bunch of different merits here, like thick hide, cursed with pride, merits and I guess flaws, really. Uncanny
Mm.
kinship, trade among equals, and criticality incident. Each
Mm.
of these being um, a few different things to just have as your lore, I guess. Now, I'm not entirely sure how these quote unquote work. It does seem like it is just there to help with creation of characters, but it's not something that I've really read into a bunch.
Mm.
So somebody can correct me, of course. Um, but something like the Bahari here that I have on 382 seems like it is just a bunch of lore stuff based off of if you want to be a part of that specific sect of
Mm.
vampires, right?
Mm.
Um, which is very cool, and I like that a lot. So you can really tie into the um, greater Vampire the Masquerade lore easily
Mm.
this way, if you know anything about that, and or if you want to be a part of that. Um,
Mm.
so cool that it's there. Doesn't seem like it's something that is missing, and I don't, like I said, I don't think that was a criticism or anything, but I just wanted to point it out.
Mm.
That comment about 2 days ago. It's been in my head, and I can't get rid of it. And I've been trying to basically put together my own homebrew version of V5 Khaldoonism.
So I don't know what Khaldoonism, first off, is, so let's find that out. Because it seems like we're all just going to understand better.
Yeah.
Khaldoonism. Vampire. Khaldonic sorcery. Here we go. Or Khaldoonism is a form of Cainite blood magic practiced by the Tzimisce. Similar to thaumaturgy in idea, but very different in practice. Major differences include Khaldunic sorcery, requiring the service of the spirits of nature rather than the memorized rites and rituals. Khaldoonism tending to be much more subtle than thaumaturgy at lower levels, and Khaldoonism requiring not so much an extension of will as being a master of the very material a fiend wishes to manipulate. Oh, okay. No vampires embraced into Khaldoonism. It's always learned as an out-of-clan discipline. Despite being considered a form of blood magic, it generally requires no expenditure of blood by the caster. The ancient Tzimisce who cultivated this power knew the difficulties of hunting in their territories, and thus instead invoked their powers through enslaving the spirits of the land. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have some genuine magic, which makes sense because in World of Darkness you have not just vampire, you have werewolf, you have I think it's magi was one of them. There's a bunch of like different spin-offs inside of the World of Darkness. But magic is something that does exist, and it makes it so that it's one of those things that it fucks with reality, you know?
Yes.
It's not one of those things that you can just do like in D&D, right? There's actual consequences usually.
Yeah.
Bahari Blast is the best blood flavor. Thank you.
How dare.
That's great. What Modern Vampire is missing is police dramas portraying it as a dangerous cult. Right, exactly. Yes, 100%. But yes, okay. So now that we know that, I can see, like, if you had that as something that you enjoyed as part of the old one, like, having to just make amalgam disciplines is not that big a deal, right? I would think. Yeah. So, like, you just go back to the old stuff and then just put amalgams of protean and blood magic or any of those kinds of things, right? It just makes it so that it's a lot more difficult when it's not its own tree, which you could just make it its own discipline, I feel, and that would be fine, right? It just has to work differently as a resource, you know? You'd have to kind of make your resource whatever they've chosen for, I think it's whatever the magic thing is now. I can't remember off the top of my head, because it's not in Hunter, I don't think. And it's been a hot minute since I could recall. But anyway.
And also trying to keep it within the idea of the amalgam specs.
Oh, there you go.
But, excuse me.
Love it.
Oh, that's nice. I'm drinking green tea with sencha and goji berry, by the way. How bougie
you
is
say
that?
Dogeberry?
Anyway,
No,
I decided that I can't just think about Khaldoonism. And I am a Tzimisce fan. I love Clan Tzimisce. If you did not know, I have the Tzimisce clan symbol tattooed onto my arm.
Very cool.
I have wood burnings of the Clan Tzimisce symbol. I love Clan Tzimisce. It's the whole skaldic version of the vampire mythos, the Dracula and all that stuff. It hits me right here. But I decided that if the Tzimisce were going to get a special look, what else are we missing? And I was able to find, and I could be wrong because this was a this morning thing. I was just going to go off on Khaldoonism for a little while, which I'm probably going to do also. But I found out that there are 27 that I was able to locate. I'm sure there might be more, but I was able to find 27 traditions of vampiric magic that has been completely removed from Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition.
Ah, the video is literal. I see.
Okay.
That very cool. Okay. I'm fine with this because I feel like it's the thing, right? It's the World of Darkness. It's got a lot of shit going on. There's literal demons and shit that do exist, and you have the Fae and all this shit that it's around, though I don't know how much is going to be kept because of it being a different publisher now, right? It makes sense that a lot of this would be lost, but if you want to bring that stuff in, absolutely. You know, I don't see a problem with it because the supernatural exists, so why wouldn't magic?
Vampire the Masquerade has lost its magic, and for the Tremere, I'm actually happy about that because I feel it took this highly unplayable clan and turned it into something more graspable. We'll go with graspable.
Sure.
Now, it's really funny
Tangible.
that I say that because the very first thing that came to my mind the moment I saw that was good. The second thing was, how do I stop it? And I get laughed at by my players on that one because I actually do have a plot line in mind. It's like an Ocean's 11 style heist where the different factions of Clan Tremere, the 4 houses that I know of, which are the Ipsimus, Karna, House Tremere, and House Gortrix, come together, put their differences aside, and then start infiltrating the different cults,
Sure.
which are located in cults of the blood gods, because they do have specific types of blood magics that are directly to them.
Mhm.
And where it wouldn't be identical to past thaumaturgy, and I wouldn't want it to be, it is the Tremere trying to get back their lost power. Because as it is right now, I feel that the way V5 has brought in blood sorcery, it shows that some of the basic thoughts of Banu Hakim sorcery was the starting point for Tremere blood magic to be created, for a traditional thaumaturgy to be created. And I could be way off on that one, but guess what? I'm a storyteller and I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
So, that being a thing, I went over and I found, and I'll state which ones they are, but it's so weird to see that many traditions just disappear. I'm actually way off base by saying that, because it's actually 25 traditions have been lost. Because necromancy is necromancy, and blood sorcery is blood sorcery.
It's interesting because it'll be interesting to see if he does go into it at all. Because the Oblivion discipline was one that I didn't know of because the core rulebook didn't have it. But as you look into like the player's guide and other supplemental material, Oblivion has that controlling of spirits and controlling of shadows and such that's associated with it. So it's a little necromancy, a little bit. It's very, very cool. I like it a lot. But it is something that does kind of fill that void a little bit. Though I don't know if straight necromancy is technically a thing that's anywhere in the books. So.
So those two still kind of fit in there, but there are 25 other source materials, which are Abyssal Mysticism has been combined down into typical Oblivion, which I'm fine with. It's explained. That's why I don't care. So,
cool.
Whatever on that one. Anarch sorcery has been lost. Anarch sorcery is described as a hodgepodge of various traditions, either rejected from their main tradition or evolving to mortal trends, often found within the Anarch community. I don't truthfully care about that. I don't. Anarch sorceries, whatever. It doesn't really do much for me. New Age.
Okay, so something that I would say about at least Anarch sorcery as a concept to me is I like the idea of people trying to iterate on what is already happening. It's just another thing to then keep track of, unfortunately. I like the idea of having more magic stuff inside of vampires, sure. Because they're vampires, they can learn whatever the fuck, however the fuck long they need to, you know? So there would be no reason why, if magic does exist in the world, that some of them wouldn't actually try to learn it and become masters of it. And thus, when you have someone like the Tremere, who have such a regulation on blood magic itself, then you would have these practitioners who are trying to use different forms of magic to try to undermine them here and there or whatever. And the only thing that I can really put as an argument that I'm not like super behind is just the complexity of having a bunch of different schools of magic, basically. And having to keep track of all that. Which, again, I'm not 100% against doing that because we do it all the time in other games. It's fine. It is something that we could do. But something that is specifically like, well, this is blood sorcery, but from a Anarch who has been doing it, you know, and trying to make it so that when they crush their, the gems together and put the dust in a different way, that it becomes something completely different. It's like, well, cool. Very cool, like that idea, but man, oh man, is that going to be annoying for me to then, like, write down as something else that I now need to worry about, you know?
Yeah.
So, two minds about it.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Pizza Funk. But yeah, so.
Bludge magic, a tradition in tune with various New Age movements and mindsets. I think that really fits well with House Karna and their style of doing things. So I'm not very upset that that's been blocked off. Old school sorcery, various nearly extinct religious practices used as a tradition. That seems to me just to be a ways of life, so whatever.
Sure, yeah. Doesn't have to necessarily be a vampire thing.
Punk sorcery, a variant of mortal chaos magic used by a younger kindred. That would be kind of neat to have, but again, I think that falls under the qualities of anarch sorcery and whatever. I think the anarchs have enough. I really hate saying that because they don't, but I like the fact that they don't. I like the anarch underdog storyline.
That's fair.
Assamite sorcery, or I guess in this case it would be Banu Hakim sorcery. The ecstatic practices of the Assamite sorcerers that date back to the Second City. So that's very interesting and very old. I'm not really sure how you would do that kind of thing. I think that might actually be blood sorcery as we have it now.
Oh, okay.
Duran Ki, if I'm pronouncing that properly. If I'm not, I apologize. But Duran Ki, the standard magical tradition of every Banu Hakim, which draws on ancient covenants with the gods of ancient Mesopotamia. Other observers claim that the Ashapu traffic with highly dangerous spirits. Most use Caliph, which is a VT-laced drug, to achieve the ecstasies to commune with the gods. So when you hear about Assamite thaumaturgy, where they have to basically smoke hashish to attain that magic, that's what you're talking about. So that's your standard Assamite sorcery. There's one called...
I actually, now that I'm thinking about, like, with specific bloodlines and stuff having their specific blood magic, it would be neat to see at least, like, one or two specific powers that were specifically tied to these bloodlines, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would just be in a supplement somewhere, right?
Yeah.
That way we just have another variable, but, like, it's contained there. And you can use them and you can not if you want to, but they would at least, like, tie back to these things of, well, this has been a tradition since they started. So it would really ground that kind of bloodline and the practice of keeping that knowledge, you know, and their eternal life, really, having it still stick around. So
Seer, which is a nearly extinct variant of Assamite sorcery.
That's fine.
Preserved by the Hajj bloodline of Arabia. It is dedicated to Allah and beseeches him to aid via long prayers and religious rituals. So that sounds like something you'd hear from the Akasha vampires, which is pretty cool. Then we get our lovely Khaldunism. Okay, I hate it when people call it Khaldunic sorcery. The reason I can't stand that, and I'll give you a real life example, is I live near the Calusa River, which is a river in South Florida. It is named after the Calusa people who lived here before the colonists came, and it is known widely as the Calusa Hatchie. Hatchie is the word river in the Calusa language. So when people say the Calusa Hatchie River, I want to throw them in the fucking river, because you're saying the Calusa River. When you say Khaldunic...
ATM machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, I get you. I understand.
Sorcery, you're saying sorcery.
Yeah.
Khaldun literally means sorcery.
Oh.
So there's no reason to say it twice on that one. Zamitzi Rant, number 1. Let's see if there's any more, but
appreciate
bing, count that off.
I like that you have the passion.
That is a wholly different experience than thaumaturgy.
Yes.
Now, this specifically to Riley Bitely. I want to point out something, though, which is something that a lot of players don't realize, is that there have been explanations given on why certain Tzimisce have thaumaturgy, but still are called Khaldun's. And that's because at a certain point, Dullahan, I'm gonna do this. I hope you don't mind. Sorry, buddy. At a certain point in time, the Khaldun spirit magic actually started to die off among the younger members of the clan.
Sure.
Not for lack of interest, but I think more regional than anything, and possibly laziness, because the Sabbat became more important to them. The practices of the Sabbat became more important to them. The rituals of the Sabbat and such over their own religious practices. Keeping your relationships with the spirits became second to their needs as spiritual leaders within the Sabbat.
I appreciate at least, I mean, and, you know, you can take this as you will, but from what I have gathered, at least from reading the lore that is given to us in V5, a lot of the stuff that it's missing, quote unquote, at least for this magic stuff specifically, has me thinking, oh, well, if that is an ancient, like, almost extinct magic, well, sure, yeah, you might find some vampires in, you know, the Middle East who might know it still, because that's where it was practiced, and they never moved away from there, maybe, who knows, but, like, you have those specific ones there, yeah, it's basically non-existent now, sure. With this, he's saying, oh, yeah, because the Tzimisce were in the Sabbat for so long, because they were, like, a main member of the Sabbat for a very long time in old lore, and now in new lore you can play as them because they're kind of getting out of that, a lot of them are, and they're, you know, trying to establish themselves as not the bad people all the time, even though still plenty of them probably are, but, like, you have that, and thus, because of that choice, then they've lost their abilities to do this type of magic because they didn't practice it as much. And it's nice to see something that is, like, at least backed up by the lore, right? So that you can then just point to it and say, well, yeah, it's gone. That's fine. Because you might find, like, 2 or 3 people that are older vampires who might still be able to do it, and if you meet them, well, you're fucked anyway, so, you know? But, like, yeah, it's good to see somebody who isn't, like, upset about this to such a degree, and who can actually, like, look at what's been going on with the writing and go, yeah, I can at least rationalize this based off of the text, and infer a bunch of stuff that actually does work because of the text, you know?
Yeah.
It's just nice, because you don't see that a lot. You don't see people actually looking at the material and going, yeah, okay, that works.
Yeah.
Because, again, what I've heard from this, at least for people who diss V5, is it doesn't have all the stuff that we used to have. And it's like, okay, what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
But this isn't even that. This is just, yeah, this is gone. Sucks, but
and this is the reason why.
Yeah, exactly. And I like learning. This is good. Nothing left on r/Mesopotamia but a bunch of 6,500-year-old tumors. Shut up.
Now,
I am going to be
Then,
honest, though. He is
Tzimisce
so low
started
energy that
practicing
I'm having a
thump-
hard time paying attention.
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit, like, he does a little editing here and there to, like, keep himself flowing. And if he had a little
but there are
bit more,
definite parts like just then where it's like
yes,
a good 5 seconds of just dead air.
yes, if he had a bit more music that might like keep me, interested.
Yeah, like
and
music,
going.
images, maybe like better lighting as well.
Yeah, I get
I know
the
he's
vibe.
wanting to do it with the candle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, but
Yeah, and again,
I'm losing it.
I understand. I do get it. I understand. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Thaumaturgy that they were stealing from the Tremere and learning from the Tremere anti-tribu, which started making thaumaturges of Clan Zamitzi calling themselves Khaldoons just because they felt special. Basically, they were appropriating the typical hermetic magic of Clan Tremere into their own darker practices,
Sure.
and forgetting that Khaldoonism was an actual thing off to the side, and just calling it Khaldoonism because they were Zamitzi. And the idea of saying that I am a Zamitzi who practices sorcery, therefore I am a Khaldoon, became a commonplace thing.
Mm.
But I completely agree with you that having blood sorcery as it is in V5 should not count as Khaldoonism at all. Other than just the random asshole Zamitzi who happens to have it and calls himself a Khaldoon. That's personal choice and wrong at the same time, so have at that. Necromancy. Necromancy is marked down as the narrower arts of the Giovanni that focus on the undead and control.
I do forget about the Giovanni. They actually do necromancy. That is true. I forget about them too much. There's the whole we literally in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines when we played that going into the Giovanni estate and going into the tomb where all the zombies and shit were. Like that's because they're Giovanni. Yeah. Shit. I forget these things.
Wraiths. As the wraiths of the Dark Kingdom possess different arcanoi and sometimes even different soul structures, the tradition in which necromancy is practiced has to be specialized itself on a given Dark Kingdom. I like that description, and I kind of wish that description was in the book because it would make paths of necromancy seem a lot more understandable. The fact that when you use different paths of necromancy from the older systems, not Oblivion and V5, but when you're using the paths of necromancy, you're actually discussing the type of wraith that you're interacting with. So I do enjoy that. Now, another thing on that one is that Oblivion has become necromancy in V5, which I actually don't mind. I like the idea of taking different aspects of the dark world. Having the La Sombra be a little bit more grounded in a death magic rather than shadow dimensions, because there's always such, like, what are you dealing with? Like, are we dealing with shades as in specters? Are we dealing with shades as in literally a living shadow? And I like the fact that it is kind of all melded into one in V5.
Yeah, I mean, it's both a good and a bad thing that we have a bunch of more simplified stuff, right? Just like in anything that's going to try to streamline things so that it makes it easier to play and easier to understand and all of that kind of stuff. When you see the absolute stretches they go to in something like what 5th edition was, and then you see something like what Vampire 5th edition is, it's kind of night and day to see the complexity, but it's simple enough that you can kind of follow it pretty easily, I would say. You do have to jump around the book here and there, right? I mean, that's what I do all the time when we're playing, because it's like, you guys ask me one thing and I go, fuck.
Yep.
Which it's no big deal. I love jumping around the book. It's not something that I find a bad thing.
Well, I mean, even if it was a problem, I'd still do it.
Right, exactly. That's the thing. It's just, I want to get it right, you know? With something like D&D, it's less... It's harder to get it wrong when you don't look through the book, I guess.
Harder to get it wrong when you just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
That's kind of the thing with D&D. It's like so often with D&D, you just kind of hand wave bullshit. Or
Yeah.
you just like, sure, we'll just, it's this.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
but with Vampire,
and it fits.
Yeah, sometimes with Vampire, it does wind up being a bit more strict.
Exactly. But every time it's been strict to me, it's been like for the better, you know, because
Exactly, yes.
you really want it to be it doesn't you don't want to be cheated, right? And it never feels like you are. At least to me.
Yeah. I agree.
Mortis, the art of the Cappadocians, which is more focused on the physical aspects of death instead of the spiritual. I love the history of Mortis. I really, really do. I like the idea that, we embraced the Giovanni specifically because they, as humans, had the knowledge of how to control wraiths, and we wanted a more spiritual outlook. Cappadocius himself was completely obsessed with death, and they were pretty much just bound to only studying the physical aspects of death. So the idea that Mortis, or the Mortus path of necromancy, is a wholly different type of magic is a very interesting idea, but I can also see how it evolved into necromancy. So I don't have that much of a need to throw that in there.
Makes sense.
Then we have Eastern necromancy, the arts practiced by the I get to read Italian words. Eastern necromancy, the art practiced by the Della Passaglia family of the Giovanni and the Nagaraja to subdue the wraiths of the Dark Kingdom of Jade and Buvar. And I'm probably pronouncing that last word wrong. I've never heard of that before reading this, but it sounds like to me that they're saying that the powers of nihilistics, or the vitreous path necromancy, which was specifically Nagaraja only, was also being practiced by a small group of the Giovanni, which kind of upsets my version of the lore. Not my version that I made up, but the version that I've accepted over time, because there was always so much idea that the Giovanni would be obsessively searching for Nagaraja to get a hold of that. The idea that they already had it kind of just... It doesn't fit well with me. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one.
I would have to research more about that. I have no idea what he's talking about. Unfortunately, I the one thing that I know about the Giovanni that I'll always remember is that the actual head of the Giovanni wants to diablerize God.
Yo,
and I'm talking the oldest one.
Yeah.
Who because that was his thing.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm like,
you, man.
I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Fuck it. Who cares? Yes.
That's hilarious.
I love it. I love that as the fucking concept.
Does he not think that he's gonna get fucking et?
Dude, I don't know. He wants to get so strong that he can do it. You know?
That's hilarious, dude. Oh my god.
It's great, honestly. I love that as a crazy goal that one might have, because he's so old and so powerful, but he could become God, basically. And it's like, sure.
Yeah, right?
Why not? Try it out, bud. Good luck. Maybe you'll wake up someday.
Yeah.
Western necromancy, the arts originating in Roman ancestor worship used by the Giovanni main family, and the harbingers of skulls to subdue the wraiths of the Dark Kingdom of Iron. I love how it's going into the different kingdoms of Wraith, the Jade Kingdom, the Iron Kingdom, the Obsidian Kingdom, the Ivory Kingdom. It's so cool that they have that detail in there, and I love the fact that they're doing that for this. I never really considered the Harbingers of Skulls having this as a main practice. I really saw them more of the Mortus, bringing the old-fashioned Mortis back. But however they decided to describe that, that's a more spiritual side of necromancy over the physical.
That does bring up that kind of like thought about necromancy, because you always see it depicted as something that's always bad, you know?
Mm.
And it's one of those things that I wish so many more things would embrace the whole, like, well, it's not just about like raising the dead, you know? It's about trying to understand and control these things that are outside of life now, that might be hunting life now, or like utilizing things so that, like, utilizing the body when it is no longer carrying the spirit, you know, or just all of these different views that you can have on death, right? And what you can do with something after death. It's I want it to be explored more, and I want there to be more of like a, well, hey man, I'm just trying to like make it so that my all of my ancestors are still like with us, you know, performing their service to whatever, because that's what they were devoted to, you know? And so like keeping them quote unquote alive in that way is what we all want. You know, and then it's just like,
totally not like, just chill.
yeah, just, it's fine. We want this. It's okay.
We want this. We want this. I decided.
Yeah, I decided. We all signed the contract when we were born. It's fine.
I signed the contract for all of you. It's fine.
Yeah, then you have situations like that, right? Where it's somebody corrupting that idea, right? Because you do have that kind of practice in a family, and then it's like, well, many generations down, it's like, well, we always were like this. Always, you know? And so...
Yeah, like, I don't know why you're even,
gaslighting the fuck out of people, right?
Wow.
Wow. You think that Dad wouldn't have wanted this? Wow.
Wow. I got that from Fleekazoid, a recent video from him.
Okay, gotcha.
It's the Xbox didn't fail, you did.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's very funny.
I
Recommended.
I bet.
Because, it's fucking, of course, it's goddamn Fleekazoid,
yes.
so it's gonna be fucking funny as shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so... it's just an aside. And yes, he does want to win at Undertale. Yes, exactly. He wants to become God, easily.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I love it.
I know. I do too.
So South American necromancy. The arts practiced by the Pizanob branch of the family, Giovanni, in order to control the wraiths of the Dark Kingdom of Obsidian. From what I understand, Aztec necromancy, or I'm just going to call it Pizanob necromancy is focused more on ritualistic necromancy other than paths. So I'm not really sure what the detailing on that one is. There's African necromancy.
For all of these different necromancy types, it seems like a lot of necromancy is gone so far. It's been a lot of them, which, honestly, fair enough to me, at least, with how we have powers in Vampire now. The specific, like, magical practices of necromancy, I mean, those can still exist, but they would be their own thing, whereas these ones are... It seems like it was mostly Giovanni, because it always is. They do that. And then... but, like, at current year, at least to me, it seems like they wouldn't need all of these different types, I guess, you know? Because we have so much more of a connection across the globe at this point, that you would think that, well... They don't... The ones who were doing these older kind of rites and all of this kind of stuff, maybe they were wiped out, because the Giovanni is all about, as far as I remember as well, and this, somebody could correct me on this, but getting, like, the best of their family and all of this, right? And if you're not a Giovanni, you're probably not going to become a Giovanni vampire.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, the bloodline itself is kept in the family, as far as I'm aware.
It's very gate-capped.
Yes, for sure. Gatekeeper as fuck, these Giovanni. So, like, but, like, all of these other things might have just been seen as not the best anymore, not worthy of the Giovanni titles anymore, or something like that. And again, I could be wrong on how I'm viewing the Giovanni, but that's to my understanding currently. So it at least makes sense to me that a lot of these things would just have phased out.
Yeah, no, like, it's really interesting that, like, I agree with you in that I think if they wanted to keep it, it should have just wound up being in the supplement, because if you had to keep all these different nations and cultures' versions of necromancy, it would just get bogged down.
Exactly.
Like, so hard.
And again, I like it as lore. Oh, man, so cool. There's so much lore to go through. And it's cool to then be able to, like, pick something that's super obscure that you can kind of bring back into your chronicle for your games. And it's like it's rooted in that. You can still do that. It's just we don't need to have, you know, every single thing that used to be there, right? Like you were saying, it gets bogged down. I just let me just see if I can find something. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Cappadocius. That was the Giovanni who wanted to diablerize God.
His name is Cappadocius?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Why is his name Cappadocius?
Because I assume that he was of the generation that was probably farther down the line. Oh, here we go. Cappadocius. This is coming from Reddit. Thank you, Reddit.
Okay. Yes.
Cappadocius says,
Ministry of Truth. Yes.
And this is a quote in Giovanni Chronicles 1. Our Savior said, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. I shall come to him, believe in him, consume him, and become him. As kindred feed on man, I shall make a sacrifice of God and feed upon him, to rise above kindred. I shall become Lord over all. Just as I had to die to become kindred, so must I die to become God. I must die to my current state as I once died to humanity. My death must be a crucifixion. My consumption of God must be a sacrament.
Holy shit.
It's fucking rad, dude.
Yeah, dude.
He comes right out and says it. So...
Yeah, man, I'm gonna fucking drink God.
I love it because they even are going into the fact that he was converted to Christianity and all of this. So, like, it makes sense that with his being fucking insane and then, like, understanding vampirism the way that he does, like... I love that so much.
Yeah. What the fuck, man? It's great.
It's so good. Thank you, Cappadocius.
Vampire's so fucking weird and cool.
Isn't it? You can go down so many rabbit holes with this fucking lore. Oh,
yeah, God.
It's great.
You're a fucking weirdo, and so is this game.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because Diablo Rising God is totally Cappadocius, dude. Shut up.
Oh.
Very good. Oh.
Let's see. The arts practiced by the Ebony Kingdom names. You guys are going to have a nice laugh on this one. The arts practiced by the Milawatu and the Ghiberti families of the Giovanni to subdue the wraiths of the Dark Kingdom of Ivory. It sounds to me like that's more of a spiritual version of it, and I don't know much about the legacies. Truthfully, the thing that I know most about the legacies is how their humanity and beast balancing act works, and I like that. But I'm sure we'll learn more about this. Vodouin, or Vodun. I've always heard it pronounced Vodouin, even from people who practice traditional real-world Vodouin or Vodouinism. But I've heard it pronounced Vodun. also necromancy. It's voodoo inspired
Excellent.
Did his
take on
volume just go way up?
Not for me.
Oh, okay. I wonder if I had my headphones fucked up because he suddenly became way more hearable.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
necromancy exhibited by the Zemeti, similar in aspects of the Wanga, which is again Ebony Kingdom. Now, I have only seen one version of, and I think it was actually just called Vampire Voodoo, which was marked in a a Zemeti clan book. But I'm pretty sure that Zemeti clan book might have been something that someone created and not actually White Wolf official.
Makes sense.
Personally, I always thought that if you were looking at the Vodou necromancy, that you're looking more like Thanatosis, which is the main discipline of the Zemeti. It would make sense for that to be wrapped into a necromancy.
Sure. Take a big drink, dude.
Ogum.
There you go.
The very limited form of blood magic based on Celtic runes practiced by the
Okay, so now I'm getting it more. They tried to implement a bunch of different types of cultures, like mysticism and magic, into vampire because of vampires being everywhere. I understand now. So fair enough. It would be cool to see a lot of that, but again, I feel like now that we're at least in the modern age, in vampire itself, you have, again, like I said, the interconnectability of everywhere. So like, and the different understanding of different generations, right? Of new vampires that don't know this stuff, and this stuff wasn't taught because it's no longer needed, really.
Yeah, it's really not.
Like back in the in the Middle Ages, if I'm remembering my lore right, you had vampires that ruled over. And I would assume that a lot of these practices were used in those days because they were out and about ruling over humanity. And it wasn't until the, I guess, First Inquisition that had actually, like, driven them into secrecy. And utilizing this magic isn't necessarily something that would be great to do, and so then they, had it lost because they just had to be in the shadows, not doing these overt displays of ritual and all of this kind of stuff, except for the blood magic from the Tremere, because of course, but it's not overt usually for that stuff. I mean, it can be, it very much can be. It depends on what you need to do, but it's not as necessary, right? And even then, when it is necessary, it's something that's done secretly. So it could just be that because of the times that all of this stuff has gone away. And that is something that I'm totally okay with being the case, especially when we have enough quote-unquote magic right now. And again, I'm fine with there being more of it, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a vampire-specific thing.
Right? Indeed. And like I was saying before, it would just clutter up the magic.
Yes.
Because you have all your,
your
it would also kind of, almost sort of diminish some of the other, what is it called? Disciplines. Because, you might have like, oh man, we got like 10, 15 disciplines for each, category or whatever. And then we have like 400 spells.
Yeah, as long as it wasn't like that.
Yeah, but then you would be like, I feel like because blood sorcery is so fucking versatile and has so much shit in it, no one would ever, well, I mean, people definitely would, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you would lean so hard into the spells because, well, they can just do more.
Exactly. If you were to play the magic equivalent, the Magi or whatever it is called, for World of Darkness, then yeah, absolutely we would have all of these different spells and stuff because they aren't vampires.
Exactly.
Right?
They are magic users.
They would be a magic user of some sort, and so you would have all of these things that would come up potentially inside of that. But then, dealing with a vampire, they have their supernatural abilities that are because they're a vampire, and so you have to deal with that when you're going against one potentially. So yeah, I just it very much does feel like if we just keep it to disciplines, you get the vampire experience that you're wanting, right? It has enough magic that it's like, well, yeah, vampires are supernatural creatures, so we can still do all this shit. You can get blood magic blood sorcery and oblivion disciplines if you want to on any bloodline if you spend the points. And you do the narrative reasons and such. So it's still in there, quote unquote. Just not so, like you're saying, taking over everything and making it feel like you're no longer playing vampire, you're playing a magic game of some sort. Yeah.
Old bloodline, the Leonin. Now, something that I am highly amused by lately is that I'd never thought of this before, but on occasion, I watch, or I listen to, I should say, on occasion, I listen to Lore by Night, which is an amazing podcast. Their catch.
Interestingly enough, I do have a Lore by Night video that we could watch sometime, because it's specifically having to do with which version of vampire is the best. So, interesting little tidbit there.
Yeah.
Phrase is the podcast where we discuss everything vampiric with no fear of breaching the masquerade.
Nice.
I love it. It's all done in character.
Oh, interesting.
He's tired. He went to sleep. Let's not wake him. He does everything in character. He plays a very elder Nosferatu who just has a wealth of information that he is trying to educate neonates to.
That's really... I love that as an idea for a podcast. Holy shit. That's cool. Now I have to listen to that, because that sounds interesting to me. If somebody... Like, in universe, somebody tried to teach me about what the fuck vampire is. Oh, man. I love that.
Neonates with. And it's presented so well. His voice is just wonderful to listen to. His characterization that he has is amazing. If you guys have not listened to it, please do. I'm going to put a link in the description because it's such a great podcast.
Fair enough.
But he said that Ogham, the Leonin's discipline, is a version of Khaldoonism. And aside from the fact that Khaldoonism is a Slavic path, I do believe that it would hold the same idea as ties to the land as would Ogham. So I love the idea behind that, and I completely agree.
Nice.
Sadhana, the ancient thaumaturgical discipline of the Danava, and other... I'm going to butcher this word, and if anybody has a way of breaking that up pronunciation guide-wise, please let me know. Raktasa Dahas. Raktasa...
It's alright. You don't have to try it again.
Nope, I can't even say the main word now because I'm too focused on that. It's the thaumaturgy practiced by the Danava and other Hindu kindred, which has been practiced. It predates Tremere thaumaturgy by thousands of years. I have read the book version of Zadhara, and it is a great discipline. There are some that kind of match up with standard thaumaturgy, but most of it is more of a spiritual evolution thaumaturgy. Following that, we have Setite sorcery, the various religious practices of the followers of Set in its various bloodlines. There is something. Haku, the Egyptian magic practiced by the main clan since the time of Set. This is ancient Egyptian mysticism.
Now, I will say, in Cults of the Blood Gods, that is a supplement that is out for V5. I wonder if a lot of the stuff that he's going to talk about has been kind of reduced, quote unquote, into that. Because if it's specifically to do with that cult, I remember when I took my little gander through it, that it did have something about the cult of Set. So some, like we were saying, some of these things are potentially like inside of V5. It just is in different supplements, so you're not having to worry about it in the core stuff. Let me see here. So, yes, Control F, set. Oh, fuck off, Adobe. I fucking hate this fucking program. The Church of Set, 68. There you go. It starts talking about that kind of stuff, and it has various different information about it, as well as, I think, if I keep going through here a little bit more, I could have sworn animals? Oh, boa constrictors and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense because it's set. I remember there being yes, here we go. So, new powers. You have some obfuscate present, or you have one obfuscate, one presence, one protean that you can get here. One being a mental maze. Then presence is true love's face, and then the protean one is the heart of darkness. Nice. Where you have to have amalgams in order to take these. And I think is it obfuscate and dominate? Yeah, that's amalgam for obfuscate and dominate, and amalgam for presence and obfuscate, and then a protean and fortitude. So they have some stuff in here now, and I don't remember when this was released, but at least at some point they went, hey, there's all these other crazy, cults that exist within Vampire, that utilize their disciplines differently because of who they are and all this shit. And it might tie into this stuff, so we will see. I'm excited. Oh, by the way, for those of you who would like to know, I apologize. Starts on page 84 and 85 for those powers that I was talking about in Cults of the Blood Gods.
You've got these words. Noholati, the Aztec sacrificial sorceries of the Tlaque, which is a Setite bloodline from South America who practice standard Protean and not their Serpentis version of Protean. They're said to turn into leopards and things like jaguars and things like that.
Very cool.
There is we've come to it. Thaumaturgy, the Hermetic blood sorcery of Clan Tremere. One of the most versatile traditions. It is known for being very formal and academic, viewing most of the practices through a nearly scientific lens. That's our standard thaumaturgy that we know from first edition all the way through 20th anniversary, the various paths and rituals and things like that that we're used to. Then it has here dark thaumaturgy, infernal secrets and investments granted by demons and those who would worship them.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
There has been a time that I always saw Bali with dark thaumaturgy, and truthfully, I don't think I would ever see Bali with dark thaume. Bali control those forces, and they worship those beyond the veil. They don't worship demons.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, huge difference to them. Not to anybody else, but to them, it is a huge difference.
Sure.
Dark thaumaturgy is what you would see when a standard vampire sells his soul for power.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's cool.
There was...
Yeah, because, demons and stuff, like I said, do exist. You might never, ever, ever see one, but you could
But they
make a
do
pact.
exist.
Yeah, you could make a pact with something and sell your soul. So
That's fucking cool.
yeah, it is cool.
So then, I guess, So if dark thaumaturgy is them specifically selling their soul to something that isn't a demon, does that imply the existence of like outer entities or extra dimensional entities and shit like that?
So in the world of darkness, there's a shit ton of things.
Okay.
Yeah, like if we were to go into werewolf a little bit, it has its own like spiritual stuff. In fact, it has the worm is the evil thing. You have Gaia, which is your earth spirit or just the spirit of life in general. And then there was one other that I can't remember off the top of my head. But like you have these various like spirits that are part of the land and part of, you know, all of this stuff, and then the worm that corrupts them, and werewolves see vampires as servants of the worm. And like there's a bunch of like different things there, and then you have you know, your various religions, and then you also have demons that do exist, and then you have again old White Wolf stuff. There was like actual Fae and stuff. I think Changeling is what it's called, where you could play as something that was half Fae or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. But like a lot of things exist, quote unquote.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. So like, and you might never encounter parts of different worlds, quote unquote, but it's all in the same world.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Hands of Destruction.
Hey kid, want to buy some magic? Sounds like the Etsy version. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
It does.
Which falls into the standard thaumaturgy lens, but it's also considered basically the gateway drug to dark thaumaturgy,
Hell
at least
yeah.
where I was concerned, in games that I have played in. And then you have your dark thaumaturgy that was located in like the Sabbat guides and stuff, like the Path of Phobos and things like that. And those come with summoning demons and other things, but not Bali style stuff.
It might just be for that kind of stuff. It might just be that they, like, as with many things, it was grouped into dark thaumaturgy by the lore people. They were just like, not like the writers, I mean, but like people in the lore. They're like, oh, that's not regular thaumaturgy, that's dark thaumaturgy still, you know? And so even though they, like he was saying, they specifically get it from something else, it's like grouped into all this shit. Or they might not even get it from something else, they just believe that, you know? So it's hard to tell. I would have to do more research on that, because that's a very interesting topic.
This is something that I would see in most other clans, but never Bali. Then it has Inkanu thaumaturgy, a thaumaturgic style of the adherents of the Inkanu. I've never seen it. I would love to see it. I don't really know much about the Inkanu, other than they're old, they watch, and a lot of people think they're on Golconda. There's not really much information that I've come across. Silanic thaumaturgy, a more animistic branch that is more in common with the practices of the Zamitzi, used by the Telebaic Tremere. This is a spiritual land-packed style of thaumaturgy. It works as the paths of thaumaturgy, but you do have to make sacrifices and such, and it's done on it's a more pagan, spiritual-based practice than it's a more pagan ceremonial magic than the calculated mathematic hermetic order magic of standard Tremere. And then there is the Wanga, the voodoo-inspired Afro-Caribbean practices of the Zemeti and the Serpents of the Light with ties of Vidawan necromancy. 27 traditions of blood magic. And we have one, and it's a bastardized version mix of the Banu Hakims and the Tremere. I forgot the Tremere. I do appreciate the fact that the World of Darkness has given us blood alchemy for the
Thin Bloods.
for the Thin Bloods. I think that's pretty darn cool. And I do enjoy the fact that in Cults of the Blood Gods, we are getting a lot more single-serving magics.
There you go.
So that's all very fun. That's all very great. But
Here we go.
and when I say that, there are certain things that I think should not have disappeared.
Okay.
Not many people are going to see or play a Danava, the ancient Ventrue of India. And maybe that could fall into the Ashira. I think I called them Akasha earlier. I apologize. The Ashira areas, I'm not really sure where that would fall. I don't know if they'd be considered a lost bloodline. But I can say that their practices would be not something that most people are going to really get into. I mean no offense by that, but it's just it seems like a Ventrue bedtime story more than anything. Now, a lot of these things have been covered in areas. A lot of the necromancy stuff is all condensed in Cults of the Blood Gods and different lore sheets, which we will be getting to eventually.
Okay.
So I'm not going to complain about that much.
Good.
Khaldoonism, I feel, does need a place. And the way that I see it is actually, I completely agree with Riley Bitely, where it should be an Auspex amalgam discipline. Okay. And I'm trying to decide if it should be an Auspex amalgam animalism discipline. And that would actually bring us to the idea of the very lost discipline of Spiritists, which was not on this list, which I'm very sad about. Spiritists should be on there, because there is a bloodline of Gangrel, known as the Aramanes, which are primarily female line of cat Gangrel.
Cool. Bunch of pussies.
And they're from the American Southeast, the New Orleans, Louisiana area.
It's like Scooby-Doo. Oh my god.
But Scooby-Doo was a dog, though.
Yeah, that's true, but he met them.
Was that referenced in a Scooby-Doo episode?
So in the Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island, the movie itself, the one like amazing Scooby-Doo movie,
was it a live action one, or was
it was an animated one?
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually like really good. They basically they go to Zombie Island, where the zombies are real, and
of course,
the people that they meet are actually like werecats.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. But it's I think it is in the Louisiana area, which is why I'm talking about it. So.
Traditionally Sabbat, but don't really give a crap about the politics or the warfare. They're basically Sabbat when the Sabbat are around, because you have to be. If you want to survive in a Sabbat area, you have to be Sabbat when the Sabbat are around. But they have ways of more of a shamanistic sense of being able to talk with the spirits of animals and to take on the features of animals. Very similar to Abamawe, which is the Akanazis discipline from, again, the legacies from Africa.
Big drink.
Spider Gangrel.
A spider. Oh,
that'd be creepy.
Love it.
So, I guess this was my rant about, look at all these sorceries that we had and don't have any longer. Perhaps a lot of them went unused, but there are certain ones that I think need to come back.
Sure. So with this idea of like bringing back specifically one of them that is more tied to a bloodline, I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with it becoming like you would expect it to be in, since it's a Tzimisce thing mostly. You would expect it to kind of be put into Tzimisce a little bit more, with specific amalgams that they might get, because there are specific powers that do require you to be a specific bloodline in the books. Like in the player's guide specifically. I don't think in the core rulebook there is. But if they were to, like we've been saying, make it its own thing that the Tzimisce could get, then hey, cool. You give them like three powers that they could amalgam into if they really want to. And then you don't have like a plethora that makes it go like, oh man, I always want to be a Tzimisce. They can do so much. You know, so like 3 sounds good to me. Let's go for it. Let's do it like that. If we want to incorporate this. But the other thing for me, of course, is just saying, well, yeah, but you could also just say that nobody does that shit no more, you know?
Yeah.
Which
I think something that I would do is, obviously I would go whole hog and make a supplement that just has them all.
Sure.
Because they're all cool.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
If you handed me a book and it's like, okay, bring some of these back, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I think what I would do is I would probably give each bloodline their own unique, like, culturally relevant thing.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, give the Ventru, specifically the magic of those old Ventru from India.
Yeah.
And then give, I don't know, the what the fuck are they called? The ones that still have feelings. Toreador.
Yes.
Give the Toreador one that closely relates to their heritage.
Yeah.
And then, you know, give each bloodline one.
Yeah.
And then maybe because the Tremere are the magic people as well as the Tzimisce, maybe give them 2. So they have like their blood sorcery like normal, and then give them another one.
Sure. Yeah.
So that way they can still be the wizard guys.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That way they just have a bit more options, and everybody has access to their own really cool, unique magic. And then if you decide to pick up the supplement, you get like maybe 3 or 4 for each bloodline. Like, whoa, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think that would be just a good little addition. Maybe in a future edition, who knows? I don't know if they ever plan on doing a future edition of this game, because I don't see a need for it right now. I really don't. They're putting out supplements and stuff here and there, and I don't know how well Vampire is doing, honestly. As like a brand.
I would say it's probably in the more niche ones.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just mean within the niche, even, because you have these people that are complaining about it to a degree. Yeah. Though I don't know. Because it could just be the loudest of the, you know, the minority, right? But regardless, I like it. I like the game, and I think that more options is always something that is welcomed by me and us in general, really. Because you can just ignore them if they're there and you don't want them, right? It's the easiest thing in the world. You just go, nah. Super easy, barely an inconvenience, one might say.
Indeed.
So
does thaumaturgy need a revamp? Do we need a sorcery companion?
Oh, okay, there you go.
When it comes to V5, is that something that needs to be brought up? Is that something that Justin Achille and his team are working on in the World of Darkness? Now, personally, I like the Tremere neutered. I think that they have. I think that they've had their heyday of being able to go, well, I've been playing this long, and therefore I have 15 paths of thaumaturgy and stuff. A V20 tried to calm that down a little bit, I think. They made it so that I think it was possible to get maybe 3 paths, but still, that's a little crazy. But I do have a I do have a friend who is obsessively Tremere. And
cool.
Love him very much. He knows his shit. And when V20 came around, before the second edition of V20 that is out, which I am going to be getting a hold of a copy of, because I do plan on looking at that book on on World of Darkness, on our World of Darkness. He wrote homebrew for every single path of thaumaturgy in existence.
Jesus.
I couldn't believe he did it. Like, he did
awesome.
it. And
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
great.
that I really feel bad about is that we were playing a V20 game when he did it. I was running a V20 game when he did it. And then the game was over right after he finished. And I felt so bad that he never got to play his stuff. But he did a really, really good job.
I bet.
But even he, as obsessed with thaumaturgy as he is, thinks that Path of Blood should have 5 levels, and every other path should have 3. Based on the idea of the way old LARP systems were handled, where it was a basic, an intermediate, and an advanced, and that the other ones were just filler disciplines, and there was no need for them. There were so many levels of, and even Laura Flames was just kind of pointless. The idea,
I really wish it's one of those things where, since Vampire like started as LARP basically, I wish that I had known so much more, and I should really like sit down and like deep dive into what it was and what it is and all of these different things, because I would love to like engage with this a bit more, because it's like I'm taking his word for it, and I don't have any reason to distrust the guy, right? I'm fine with what he's saying, but it would be nice for me to be able to like say, oh, that, this is something that was actually, just to see. And it's not, he doesn't need to explain it in detail. This isn't a video for somebody who is outside of the loop necessarily. So like, I don't blame him for not going into detail on a lot of this stuff. He's just kind of going through and talking about specifically what he needs to talk about, which is the magic stuff. So like, and again, the minimal explanation that he's done has been enough, I think. If I really need to look into it more, I can on my own. I don't need another, 40 minutes to this video when he goes into detail about all of these, because it's fine. But yeah, it's the one shortcoming, unfortunately, of not being as familiar with the material. And not being able to be as familiar with the material in the short amount of time that I've known it.
Yeah.
Of level 1, my hands are on fire. So I basically gave myself burning feral claws. I've never seen a Tremere take fists against anyone.
Yeah,
I would love to see
fair.
a Tremere fist fight. That would
be great.
It would be
ridiculous.
Sweet.
I would love to. Nice. I would love to play a Tremere who is like not his like best stat is strength. You know, like his second best stat is what it needs to be for all of those roles for blood sorcery and all that. But like his best stat is strength.
Yeah, I passed my magic school by threatening my teachers.
Exactly. Dude.
I didn't cast a single fucking spell. I just threatened to beat them up if they didn't give me an A.
They fucking knew that I knew it. All right, they fucking knew.
They knew. I asked them to do it. I asked them to ask me to cast a spell. When they did, I said no, but I can.
Exactly.
You fucking great.
But level 2, I can throw the fire now.
Useful.
Is interesting-ish. But, like, that seems like it could be condensed into level 1.
Yeah.
Level 1 means that you can make fire, and on your next turn, you can throw them.
Right.
That's a level 1. That doesn't need to be carried over. And the same thing with, like, Wall of Fire and Conflagration kind of does the same thing. Rain of Fire is pretty damn epic, but even my friend who's obsessed with thaumaturgy thinks it's a little bit much.
Sure.
So the idea that thaumaturgy could be compressed would be a lot better. Do we want to see it as other clans? No.
Yeah, no. Just because one school of magic is simple and can be compressed doesn't mean you should do the same to everything else.
Right. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The idea of the Tremere without access to thaumaturgy is interesting. Tremere thaumaturgy, it could definitely use a boost in place. I like the way that necromancy has become Oblivion. I like the fact that they're basically two different aspects of the same way of looking at things.
Yes, play a Tremere that with burning fists that will shuriken you. Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude.
But I think we could possibly use, and maybe there is one and I just haven't found it yet. I think we could possibly use a Abyssal Mysticism lore sheet for people who have learned how to take their Oblivion to the next level.
Sure.
And then you get some more traditional, fun, scary Oblivion obtenebrations type things. But getting on to Riley Bitely's prime thought is Khaldoonism. Khaldoonism is marked as the elemental art of the Tzimisce that focuses on the control of local spirits through their link to Cupola. Khaldoonism is something that deserves to be in V5. For those of you who do not know, Cupola does not just fall within the world of darkness. It's actually a reference to a Eastern European holiday, which is Cupola's Nights, or Ivana Cupola, which is the summer solstice. It falls anywhere between the 23rd and the 24th of June. I've actually seen it marked down as the 6th or 7th of July as well. But calendar-wise, it would end up being on the, or I should say, solar-wise, it would end up being on the 21st through the 24th of June, depending on the year. History-wise, the name of the holiday was originally Cupola, a pagan fertility rite, later adapted into the Orthodox Christian calendar by connecting it to St. John's Day, which is on the 24th of June. Eastern Christianity uses the traditional Julian calendar, which is misaligned with the actual solstice, the 24th.
You're telling me that they changed the dates of things? What?
Yeah, and also, I'm sorry. Can we please get on with it?
Yeah, it is kind of like
please. We're talking about magic. I don't need to know every little detail about the holiday itself.
Of June in the Julian calendar actually falls on the 7th of July in more modern Gregorian calendars. The Ukrainian or Belarusian and Russian names for the holiday combine Ivan, which is literally John in Eastern Europe, and Cupola, which is thought to derive from the Slavic word for bathing. However, which is like John the Baptist. However, it more likely stems from the Proto-Slavic word kump, which translates to gathering. The two feasts could be connected by reinterpreting John the Baptist's people through full immersion in water.
All right, I appreciate it, but let's just get
to the magic, please.
Getting into some World of Darkness information.
Thank you.
Long ago, sensing the intrusion of powerful forces into lands he considered his own, the demon has made it his business to learn everything he can about his rivals for power, though he has yet to learn his rival's true name. Cupola's own actions are limited, sending out lesser minions and granting visions to a madman who was once a shaman. Now that continues going on, bringing in all kinds of things, mostly, strangely enough, tied into Malkavians, Anatole.
Yeah, that's what I immediately went, oh, Malkavian. Interesting.
Octavio and things like that, and people like that. But it says that the Tzimisce still celebrate Cupola's Night, more in line with the fact that their founder was attacked on that night.
Oh.
Now, as a relationship with the Tzimisce, legends of Tzimisce clan recall the eldest met Cupola long ago. When it first arrived at Transylvania, it was a slumbering entity sealed by the lupines and yearned for freedom.
Interesting.
Despite great resistance, Tzimisce managed to free Cupola in exchange for mystic knowledge, but even the antediluvian could not sever its ties between it and the Carpathian lands. The demon is also referenced by name, if not directly invoked, by some Khaldun through a number of powerful Khaldunic rituals. What I would like to see as a storyteller and as a player is a new set of amalgams, mixing together animalism and auspex into one thing so that you are actually interacting with the spirits of the lands, much like you would interact with the animals in animalism.
I wonder, actually, because Oblivion exists as a discipline, if it would be better for it to be Auspex in Oblivion,
Yeah.
because that's the spirit kind of manipulation that you kind of get, right?
Yeah.
Now, I understand having the animalism thing, because it is supposed to be more of a spirit of the land. I get that. I do get that. But I don't know. Maybe you could do animalism and Oblivion. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe you could do both depending on your clan. Maybe your clan is more in tune with the Oblivion method of working with spirits, and maybe your clan is more in line with animalism.
Exactly. Yeah. There you go. You can do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just to differentiate it a little bit and like make it so that it's flavored differently here and there and all of that. And obviously the powers themselves would be different in that case too.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing forth elementals and things like that. But I'm still big on the idea of using animalism and auspex as a combination for bringing these things, because that really does seem like it would put auspex back in the Tzimisce's hands, but only if they tried specifically, which would be a pretty interesting thing to say, that Tzimisce may not get it naturally, but it is something that they would have access to.
Ooh, that's actually even better. I do like that a lot. It is something that is specifically for a bloodline, but it's not something that you get naturally. So it's harder to work at. So it is that specialization a lot more of like, oh yeah, I really want to be this type of vampire because of this lore reason, rather than it being like, oh, I'm just naturally that way. I'm just like, I was just born this way, you know?
Yeah, that, or reborn.
Yes, technically, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that as well.
Yeah.
Now that I'm finally on board with, like, I'm finally understanding what the
you're
fucking
able to
point
follow
was.
it. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Over time, because any vampire can learn anything with a teacher.
True.
But we do have other aspects of sorcery in the same fashion, such as Setite sorcery, which I think would be interesting if we're talking about amalgams, it being a presence amalgam, due to the fact, maybe even bring in auspex with that one. Maybe it's a presence auspex amalgam. I think that
one of them is actually that I was looking at. I think. Wait, no, it's obfuscate. Fuck.
To do these sorceries justice, that they should be amalgams based on what is natural to the clan.
Sure.
And perhaps I'm misspeaking on that one, but that seems to make sense to me. If you're not going to do amalgams, then lore sheets would probably be your best bet. But I really do think amalgams might be the way to go on this one.
I think, yeah, I actually super agree. And keeping them as some of them being, like, the more esoteric ones then become these ones that are outside of the power set, right, that you would naturally get. So then it's like, yeah, if you super want to be that, it's hard to learn it because it's so hard to find somebody who could, like, show you how to do that, you know?
Let alone someone who can, let alone someone who would.
Yes, exactly. You have so much potential there for, like, travel to then learn these mystical kind of arts and stuff. It could be a whole different kind of chronicle in that case, right? Oh, man, I can see so much potential for that, for sure. For sure.
No, I'd like to know your opinion on that, because obviously I'm just blathering here. In fact, I'm probably going to edit this and see if I'm even going to put it up. But
fair.
But yes, there's a lot to consider when it comes to Magic, and I know that I'm going to be sitting here behind a computer constantly trying to rework the different paths or the different ways of Khaldoonism specifically, but also the other types of thaumaturgy now to fit into V5. If the creators working on V5 right now are trying to make it so that there's no extraneous branching powers, we need to find a way to get it to work properly. Now, as for Khaldoonism, there's not much lore. There's no lore, really, in V5 on Cupola. We do know that in the Final Nights he was set free while he was acting as a mediator between the Toreador and the Nosferatu Antediluvians. But where is he now? And if he was set free, is that why Khaldoonic sorcery is gone? That would make it so that it was him who gave it to them. Or the Tzimisce's pacts with the land.
Oh, that's a way that you could bring it in, because then you make it the Khaldoonic, or some sort of source book that is all about Khaldoon. And then it's just like, oh, you even get a little chronicle that comes with it. That's just like this little thing of the rediscovery of this sect of Khaldoonists, if you will, who are learning and teaching and causing some sort of havoc, maybe, who knows. Like, there's so much potential there too of all of these things, just so that we could, you know, incorporate that into current lore. Because if, oh my god, if he is still around, I mean, it's a demon. Yeah, it's still around, you know? I mean, like, hard to get rid of those things if you don't know where they are. There's no way in fucking hell that the Second Inquisition knows anything about that at this point. I mean, they might know that he exists, but they don't know, you know, where he went, all that shit.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, it's another kind of element that you could then tie into the world and tie it into old lore. It would make a lot of, like, fans happy too, I feel. Because they would remember, ooh, hey, this used to be a thing and now it's back. Ooh. You know?
And we get a whole little, like, chronicle about it.
Yeah.
Is it the founder of the clans that really holds all the ties on the sorcery?
Oh, that could be
good. Did the Tremere lose their thaumaturgy due to the fact that the Tremere Council and Tremere himself is most likely dead due to the attack on the Prime Chantry by the Second Inquisition?
Yeah.
If that's the case, do the Setites no longer have sorcery because Set?
Well, so now I know that's not true, because Set's Church of Set exists. So, woohoo! You know?
Ooh.
So, like, I mean, and this was obviously right before because it even is referenced in the video, right before that book came out, so that wasn't knowledge at the time. But, like, I think you got to be careful as well with this kind of stuff, because you don't want to answer too much. You know?
Yes.
You don't want to make too many definitive things. Like, keeping it that it is... It's not even that it's Khaldoon himself that is giving it all the time. It's that he is teaching it and giving the power, you know? Not that he is the source, necessarily. Because then it's even, like, with the whole, like, Tremere, even Tremere being dead, it's like, well, we don't necessarily want to definitively say that right now. It's the same as, like, unfortunately, the same as, like, 40k lore in that kind of respect, right? You don't necessarily want to say that somebody is dead or alive, because there's a lot of implications that come because of
there
that.
are a lot of implications. And,
so, for like something like the Second Inquisition destroying the Prime Chantry, excuse me, then it's like, well, yeah, they did that, but he could have gotten out. You know, they could have gotten out, and he's just hiding because that was close, man. Fuck. You know? So you have that deniability that you can still, like, weave some stuff together. And have it so that the storytellers who are playing the game can, like, make stories around that and not necessarily have the canon necessarily go that way.
Yeah.
They could go that way with it. Absolutely. I no problem with that. But I don't think that we need something official like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dead.
Yeah, drink it. Yeah.
There's a lot to think about when it comes to sorcery, and I want to know your opinions on it. I want to know what blood magic you hope makes an appearance in V5.
Sure.
And which ones you don't.
Oh.
Because it is up to the players to really speak out on these things. Storytellers included. I mean, the players of the game in general.
Yeah.
It is up to us to make our voices heard if we want anything specifically done.
And
We
it's
need
more
to be
likely that it would happen
thankful.
with this game than it would be with any other game.
Yeah.
Not any other
honestly.
game, but like any of the top games.
Yeah, because I mean, when you have a small game and a small player base that's keeping your game alive, you kind of hopefully listen to them a little bit more.
Yeah.
For what they give us, but also always be asking for more. Never be satisfied. And always want things to get better.
There you go. Okay.
I am Voivode Maquette. This is Doulahan, who's sleeping at the moment. And this is our World of Darkness. Thank you for joining me for Metaplot Monday. I understand this was not exactly the same way as we typically do things, but I've literally been laying in bed, tossing back and forth at night, going, Khaldoonism, Hospix, Animalism, how does it all fit together? And thank you, Riley Bitely, for giving me such a juicy thing to think about.
Sure. Yeah, there you go. It's good.
Good evening.
Nice. Appreciate you. Wow. Look at all those bacteria.
Yeah, disgusting.
Ugh.
Oh my god, guys. Look what UPS just dropped off.
I didn't hear what he said.
I did not hear what he said.
Like going,
I
Khaldoonism,
do wanna hear
Hospix, Animalism, how does it all fit together?
it. Yeah.
Oh my god, guys. Look what UPS just dropped off.
Oh, okay. Look at what UPS just dropped off. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
Oh, that was a tiring video, if only because it was low energy, low lighting,
Yes.
and lots of dead air.
Yes.
But otherwise, I like learning about all the different schools of magic that are in Vampire. That's super cool.
I like the information. I think it could have been delivered better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I also like the ideas that were brought up of how we could reintroduce a lot of this stuff. Because it is a shame that a lot of things have been lost, quote unquote, but are they necessary? Not necessarily, right?
Yes.
It is that thing like we've been saying, if you make it a supplement, it's something that then becomes optional, right?
Yes.
For those who are hardcore into it, then it's there, right? But if it's something that you just don't buy and it never affects you, right? You can play your version of the World of Darkness that way, right? So cool. Good stuff.
Good shit.
Look, if you want to learn magic, you have to earn it by sitting through 6 years of sleep-inducing historical tangents. That is probably how it would work, though, is the thing.
Honestly.
Because it fucking, if all of your magical schools have taught me anything, history is something that still exists that they will teach you.
Yeah, and it's like, now you're just giving me flashes of what it must be like to be a fucking sanctioned psyker in 40K, where it's like 99% of it is fucking religious dogma, and like 5% is like, okay, now think about a lightning bolt. Bam.
Yep, exactly.
There you did it.
Yep.
Think about a lightning bolt and don't think about demons.
Yes, exactly. Stop thinking. I know I said the word, but stop.
Yeah, don't think about demons. You failed.
Yes,
Bang.
bang. Exactly.
Oh man.
That would have been a better episode for when Shin was trying to sleep instead of trying to get through a 12-hour night shift. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sucks to hear about that. But
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, unfortunately it was pretty low energy. So,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? I mean, It takes all
They
kinds.
can't all be winners, but like the
It wasn't
actual
bad.
meat of the video is good.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad video necessarily.
Yeah, it's a good meal presented like garbage.
Sure, yes.
Or okay, maybe not garbage, but definitely the blandest way you possibly
Yes,
can.
I would agree to that more. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
They missed out on salting the meat. It's just meat, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's
And I'm like,
filling.
okay, this meat is good and filling, but dear God,
Could I use?
we're
some
sitting in a
salt?
white room with a white floor on a white table on a white chair, and the meat is kind of gray.
Yeah,
It's cooked well. It's just
yeah, yeah, exactly. And sometimes through the window you see some color, and you're like, shit, whoa,
it's like,
oh,
oh, that's what I'm missing.
oh, I like that. Oh,
I kind of want to go outside.
whoa.
Not until you finish your white green beans. Don't ask me why they're white. It's just everything in this room has to be
Yeah,
white.
exactly. It's mandated, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm
But
not
yeah.
going to have it in me, and I'm not going to have another video in me.
No, I didn't figure. Yeah, I figured that would be
Okay.
a one video kind of thing. So no worries
Yeah.
there. But yeah. So, well, thank you everybody. For that. If you would like to, there, sir, you may depart if you
I
wish.
will, but I do want to ask.
Yeah.
I am probably going to be awake for a little bit longer.
Mhm.
After you're done, do you want to try out Sonic Crossworlds Racing? Just chill, or no?
Not tonight, unfortunately. I do need to get this all sorted, and then so that I can edit tomorrow, because I don't have a vampire episode ready for Monday.
Okay.
So
Then I am going to drop you a video link
okay.
for a channel that is very good. It's the one I was telling Brogan about. It's Moggy's.
Yeah, yeah.
He is like brand new,
Ooh, cool.
and he is really, really excellent.
Awesome.
This is a RimWorld video.
Ooh, I love RimWorld. Yes.
Yeah, and if you are familiar with
I am.
RimWorld, the editing in this video will fucking explode your brain.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go.
All right.
So take it easy.
Yeah.
Have a good night, and let me know if you like the video.
All right.
Just kidding. I know you'll like the video.
All right.
All right,
See you later. Okay. Well, that is that. Now I will move into comments. So, okay. So we only have one comment, which is fine. No worries about that at all. Thank you for the comment, Timothy. If you would like to wish, if you would also like to leave comments so that we can read them at the end, do so, and we will read them at the end of the show. So Timothy says, "Hello, bros. New lore. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Thank you. Over 3 days after sending the challenge to Venor, Veronica finally got a reply, which is as follows. Greetings, leaders of the Moon Valley. I humbly thank you for not killing the assassin I hired to take your life. That would have been quite troublesome to deal with the backlash from their guild about them dying and such. About that challenge of yours, after thinking it over, I accept. I might as well handle the problem you pose myself. All I request is we both choose a witness to our duel. I will bring my eldest son as my witness. Choose yours by the time I arrive, which should be by the end of the week. Since you will be dead soon, I might as well let you know that your kingdom has many wishing for its downfall in the shadows. Where else do you think the bulk of the army I gathered and attacked you with came from? Think of it as a gentlemanly warning for whoever takes your place upon your death. Most likely, King Cornell, but since you are the brains of everything, I take it, I doubt he can hold things together when you are gone. Hope this letter finds you well. Signed, Venor." Oh. Veronica ripped the letter into pieces after reading it, walking back and forth in the throne room, deep in thought. Just then, General Mapletree came into the room with news. Mapletree. Oh, this is... I saw that you did do some different formatting, so thank you for this. Mapletree. My queen, great news. the final 2 generals have returned to the capital. Now we are mostly at full strength until General Woodard and King Cordell return from the swamplands. Veronica, very good. Tell all generals to meet in the courtyard. I need to give new orders. The 4 generals met the queen in the courtyard as requested. Renee the Were-Tiger, Stephen Mapletree the Skeleton Warrior, Zoe the Raven-Haired Elf, and Perry the Gargoyle. Ooh. Hello, my generals. Thank you for coming. To the ones that had cut off their hunt for great worms and returned home upon my request, I do apologize, but it was for good reason. I'm sure Renee filled you in on that reason, but allow me to shine more light on it. While the king and I were away in the city of Moorworth, a nameless army attacked the Moon Valley. General Renee, who was left in charge while we were gone, fought bravely and effectively to protect our home, holding back the hostile forces until Cornell and I could reinforce the front. Renee went above and beyond his title, showing why that title is his. Perry, indeed. We all thank you, General Renee. You may be the youngest general, but far from the weakest. Everyone clapped after Perry spoke. Nice. Renee, you are all too kind. Any of you would have done the same. Mapletree, true, but you still showed great strength, and I think I speak for everyone here when I say you will never have to fight alone again. The other generals nodded in agreement. Veronica, I called all of you back because of the newfound danger in our lands are in, And just a few days ago, an assassin tried to end my life. Zoe and Perry stood up. Zoe, where are they? I will rip their head off. Veronica, calm yourself, Zoe. Or Zoe, Is it Zoe or Zoe? I don't know. I already dealt with them. The assassin was sent by the purple dragon great worm, Venor. He fears the kingdom's great worm weapon project. Mapletree, a smart fear, I have to say. Oh, smart fear to have, I say. Excuse me. I can't read today. Veronica, this is why I summoned you all to the courtyard. I need witnesses for the duel. I humbly asked for the 4 of you to be said witnesses. The generals were silent for a moment, and then everyone stood up. Renee, whatever you need, I will give, my queen. Zoe, absolutely. Or Zoe, I don't know. Perry, you don't even need to ask. I feel bad about not being here when the kingdom needed me the most. I will do anything to make up for it. Mapletree, I will be there. Veronica, thank you, my dear generals. I do not plan on losing, but if the worst should happen, finish what I started. All the generals slammed their weapons on the table and nodded. That's all I got. Have a nice day. P.S. I learned how to format my posts a bit better. Hope it's easier to read. Thank you, and it is. Thank you very much. I appreciate the formatting. But yes, so yeah, thank you for the comment, and if anybody else would like to leave comments, please do so, and we'll read them at the end. That'll do it for everything that we were going to be talking about tonight. That video was quite low energy, unfortunately, and I apologize if it was something that you were hoping to keep you awake. But I did find it incredibly fascinating for a lot of different reasons. I really do like learning more about Vampire and its lore. There's a lot to learn, and not all of it will ever be, used necessarily when I play. But as with everything, it is interesting to see where a lot of things have come from. Specifically, there is some stuff that is kind of referenced here and there now about certain clans. And if they're coming out with source books that are delving into more of those things, it is good to see that they do care about what's been in the lore. So it's something to then just please the fans that are around still and aren't hating V5, I guess. Though, again, I don't know if that is a sentiment that is very accepted, I guess, or spoken. It's just the only kind of criticism that I see is that it's missing stuff. But the stuff doesn't seem to be stuff like this that was more specific to Magic, I guess. But regardless, I understand now. And it, again, would be nice to see all this stuff. And if they are going to do it, then cool. But something like the change to Anarchs, not Anarchs, Brujah being more violent, I guess, rather than the scholars that they were before, because I had known about this before V5, that they had been changed, which I don't see it as a problem necessarily. I do enjoy that it is referenced even in the source material and stuff, right? That there is that scholarly aspect that does exist in the background for the bloodline. And it's still kind of drawn upon here and there. But it's not in the forefront like it used to be. And it does seem like most people think of Brujah as the more physical kind of vampire now. Which I don't blame them, because that seems to be the direction they've kind of gone. In association with, I think it was the burning of Alexandria, their great library, I think. Not burning of Alexandria, but I think it was built upon that fact, where all of this knowledge was lost, and that ignited the blood in a way. You know, it made the bloodline, like, it was something that was so precious to the bloodline that it made them more violent or something. I could be wrong on that, to be fair. I could be wrong on that origin and all of that. But at least there is that lore there that does kind of show why it might have happened and why they've kind of transitioned into this kind of aspect. It does seem like the writers do care about everything that has been happening so far through vampire lore. And that is always nice to see. When you are playing a game that does rely on that, so that the world itself works to accommodate the creatures in it that were established. So it's just another little tidbit, I guess, to kind of highlight. But regardless, I'm going to go into my spiel about shilling and shoutouts. So thank you for those of you who do click off at this point. I appreciate you being here. Anyway, we have a website. Over on that website, it's in the description, of course, tabletalkdnd.us. I have updated it, so it has current... What? It didn't update. No, I clicked publish. What the hell? Hold on. It did update. Okay, I just hadn't updated the page. This, you can go into the Support Us Further tab to look at all the things that I'm about to talk about. So if you wish to, if you have the ability to, and want to, don't consider it an obligation, but you can support us for, I can't speak. You can support us via more than just the free subscribing, liking, and commenting on the videos, and sharing them around. We have a Patreon and a Ko-Fi. Patreon, of course, here, patreon.com/TableTalkCrew and Ko-Fi.com/TableTalkCrew. Both of those, you can become a table flipper, get access to early material when I have made it and had the time. Ha 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 ha. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing editing and stuff, and I don't think I'm going to do a stream about it because I need to just, like, focus down and, like, do a bunch of editing so that we're ahead again on Vampire, at least. Because I have a few things that I can kind of put together, and it would be, like, 6 hours of just me sitting there and listening to stuff. And as much as I enjoy doing the editing streams and being able to talk to people during it, it is something that I do want to, like, try to focus on doing, and the less that I have of distractions, the better, unfortunately, for me. So, but regardless, when I do editing streams, those are something that you have access to as well as when I do get the ability to, hopefully soon again, to do table flipper only games that I run. I might do some vampire stuff. Who knows? Ooh. Maybe. We'll see. It's been Delta Green so far, the few times that I've done it. But could be other games. That's the thing. I have a lot of games that I do want to try. So it might be you guys might be my guinea pigs for games, if you want to be. It's up to you, of course. Anyway, thank you goes out to our lovely, lovely table flippers over on Patreon. That being Steely, Draco Kraken, and Rick, aka Unit Rico, up in tier 4. We appreciate you very much. Thank you very, 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 very much from the bottoms of our hearts. We appreciate you immensely for being in tier 4 for so long. And of course, a thank you goes out to Crimson Rose in tier 2. Thank you very much. And a thank you goes out to our tier 1 contributor. We appreciate you immensely. As little as $1 will get you access to all this kind of stuff. And just support us. It's mostly just a support us kind of thing. And just a thing that we do more stuff with eventually here and there. So it's basically just if you want to throw us a buck. That's up to you. Anyway, going back to here, we do have our fourth wall shop. It has our dice, it has our keychains on it, it has our coasters on it, the mugs, the mouse pad, and the notebook that you can get through Fourth Wall. So go and check that out if you wish to have some physical merchandise for your dollars. Up to you, of course. But the link is in the description. TableTalk, or the-tabletalk-crew-shop.fourthwall.com. Moving on, you could donate to our PayPal directly through this link here if you wanted to. There is also the affiliation with Humble Bundle that you can see down in the bottom here. We are affiliated with Humble Bundle using the link in our description. If you purchase things through that link, you give us a little bit of a kickback. Oh, yeah, you can, if you want to. There's a bunch of stuff that's going on, like this map making bundle here that's almost gone. So by the time that this comes out, it will be gone. The Black Friday bundle looks like might be there still, not sure. And just look through a bunch of stuff on the store as well as the choice bundle, all of that kind of stuff. Oh, $9 for a month of choice right now. That's very cool. But yeah, so up to you, of course, but the link is in the description. Go for it. Oh. Didn't realize that was a thing. We are also affiliated with drive-through stuff. So all of these links go to each of the specific things: RPG, fiction, comics, cards. But the link in the description is for RPG. Drive-through RPG, if you click that link and you buy something within 15 days, we get a bit of a kickback. Looks like there's a new Wrath and Glory thing? Or is that just a popular Wrath and Glory thing under $5? Interesting. Didn't know that. That seems like newer art, so that might be... That is newer art, in fact. So they might be coming out with newer stuff for Wrath and Glory, which is neat. Or somebody made that recently, I don't know. But regardless, bunch of cool stuff on Drive-Thru RPG. It gets you some physical stuff, some just pure PDFs and all of that. I would recommend Drive-Thru RPG for a lot of needs of things. So go and see about it if you wish to, and the other stuff, the cards, comics, and fiction, are for those specific things as well. But yeah, thank you. One person peanut gallery this time, very self-conscious inducing, like when you're in a restaurant and suddenly no one else is making any noise. It's fine. You know, it's Vampire 1, so like not as many people are gonna look into this. In the live stuff, I feel. Which is fine. Not many people are going to be talking as much because it's not as familiar to people, which is also fine. No worries there at all. You know, I appreciate the lurkers. I appreciate the people who comment and everything in the chat. But no need to feel obligated to. Obviously, we tried to give the show as much energy as we could, but it was also a very low energy kind of video. So I can understand that not a lot of people might have needed to speak through it. It was a lot of a learning experience as well. I really would recommend that video to people, even if it is kind of sleep-inducing, just for the way that it was presented. But a lot of good information, a lot of things to make people aware of, So it'll be in the description, as always, if you want to go and watch it without us talking over it and making it take 2 hours, basically, on a 46-minute video, 47-minute video. So, up to you. But regardless, thank you very much. Like the VOD when it comes out. Share it around if you want to. And we will see you next week for more of the show. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Go on. You're free.